Okay, so on the video today, we've got Patrick here. He's one of our clients at Creating Demand. We're going to talk a little bit about the success we've had in a limited amount of time we've been doing this campaign for, but we've had a huge amount of success. And Patrick, how are you doing today?
Doing real good. Thank you very much, Lee.
So Patrick, if you wouldn't mind, if you just want to tell us all a little bit about what your business does, the kind of marketing you've done in the past, maybe the challenges you've had with that, and then a little bit about the experience you've had with Creating Demand. That'd be tremendous.
Sure. I work for a company called Integrative Wellness Atlanta. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Buckhead area. We started Cool Sculpting probably about, I would say, in August of 2016.
Okay.
And it was a new company, so we were new to this type of treatment and marketing. We're in a building where we don't get a lot of foot traffic outside, so we're kind of off the road, off the beaten path, so we don't get any walk-ins, so to speak. So everything that we did for this business was we started online, because that's basically where we saw the lowest cost of entry. And we had tried things like AdWords, which ended up being very competitive. Google AdWords, you type in Cool Sculpting in Atlanta, and you're competing with hundreds, maybe even thousands of other Cool Sculpting providers. We tried that for a little while. We even had some trouble with Google. They didn't want to show our ads because of some things that we had taken directly from the Cool Sculpting website and put on our website, and Google they didn't really like that. We tried Facebook advertising on our own. We really didn't have much luck. We were really struggling to create interest in our service. So one day, I got an email from a place called Creating Demand, who were offering something that seemed too good to be true, something that we weren't able to make happen, and that was, delivering Cool Sculpting leads from people interested in what we do in our area. So we kicked it around a while internally. To be honest, I was apprehensive at first because of the things that we had tried and not had any luck doing. But we went ahead and gave it a try because we needed to get some appointments in. And we've had really good success so far. We've been running since the beginning of April 2017, so we've been running about a month. We've seen, we've had probably 60 or 65 inquiries so far, and we've had a handful of actual appointments show up. So we've had, I think, probably about 10 people have shown for an appointment. We have 6 scheduled for this weekend, and we've treated 3 people already. So in a month's time, we're seeing really good success.
So these are the stats, really, from day one, from zero. We'd never worked together previously. We had no understanding of your business at all. Just for the audience watching this video, how long did it take us to get the campaign up and running and the first inquiry to be generated from when it all began?
I would say it was just a couple days. I know we decided midweek, maybe early in the week, that we were going to go ahead and do it. We got all the paperwork done. You guys walked us through the process and what to expect on our end when a lead comes in, the reports that we would see, and then we started that following Monday. And I would say it was within 2 days maybe before we got our first lead.
Wow, so we got started, and then 2 days later the first lead started to come in, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. And how many leads did you get in the first few days? Can you remember?
The first week we got 26 leads.
So 26 leads in the first week. Wow.
Yeah.
And then to date, after I think about 3 weeks of running this, I guess, from the beginning, we're about 64 leads. How many phone calls? Is it like 24 or 25 phone calls as well?
It's in the 20s. I mean, every day we get more, so I have to keep refreshing my stats. But no, it's been really great. And that was one of my concerns is, maybe, these people would be served to multiple providers, but that's not that's not the feedback that we're getting, you know. I mean, and that's not the way the program's set up. So, but you never know how people run across things. But it's been really good.
Yeah, one of the challenges we have when we make the offer to potential clients like yourself is people think it sounds too good to be true. When we say we can get 100 inquiries a month, we can guarantee it. If we don't deliver that, we will refund you in full. These are exclusive inquiries to your business. People naturally assume that, well, we've tried to do this and we've not been able to get 15 inquiries. How are you getting 100? So they assume that there's something suspicious about it, or that maybe we're reselling the lead to somebody else. But as you've seen, that just isn't the case, right?
No, it's absolutely right. And proof is in the pudding, so to speak. You know, the leads come in, we call the people. The one thing that we do, we understand that we do very well is we contact that person as soon as possible, and we have somebody working at our front desk that their job, they know the value of these full sculpting leads, and we're proving that, you know, if you get to them first, you're going to get that customer before they move on to somebody else.
Exactly, yeah. And that is music to my ears. We always tell all of our partners that speed of response is so important to get hold of that lead really quickly. Because when we generate an inquiry, they're exclusive to your business. We don't resell them to anybody else. We brand the lead to your business too. So when the lead comes in, we show them your business, we show them your website, they see where you're located, they read some of the reviews about your business. But if you don't contact them quickly, then naturally life gets in the way and people go out and do something different and they're hard to get hold of, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's so important that if somebody contacts you, that you get back with them immediately, because I know as a consumer, I'm not going to wait an hour for someone to call me
Right,
back. I'm going to the next place.
right.
And that's the way the world operates now. And one of the surprising things that I've seen, you know, I'm not involved in contacting the leads, although I get a copy of all of the leads that come in. You know, I'm our chief information officer, so I'm not in the day to day as much, but I have people contacting me directly, um, because my email address is the one that these leads come from. So people will respond to me and say, "Thank you for, you know, getting me in so quick," things like that. So it's been pretty interesting. I've had two out of the 65 inquiries or 64 that we've received email me directly and say something. So it's been pretty interesting.
That's really cool. I especially like it when we get the inbound phone calls. If for some reason, if you don't answer the phone and you see the same lead will call back multiple times within quick succession, which always shows me they've got high intent. They're really trying to get hold of someone on the phone. And you guys are great. You answer the phone almost all the time, but on those rare occasions, if you miss a call, that person generally tends to call back, which shows that they're highly interested in cool sculpting, ready to
Right.
talk about it.
Yeah, and I've listened to a couple of the phone calls, and that's another thing I like about your service is every call that comes in, we get a recording of that call. So for me to be able to just go in and randomly sample calls and see what we're saying on the phone, find out if there's ways that we can improve some of some of the questions that are being asked, that becomes a really helpful sales tool.
Exactly, yeah. And we try and make it a mission to make sure every call is tracked, every call is recorded. And we always tell our clients too that, we try and get you like 100 inquiries a month and maybe like 20 or 25 phone calls from that. In your case, it's actually more than that with the phone calls. But actually, you'll probably get more inquiries and more phone calls outside of our system too, because a lot of people will see the ad and rather than going through our tracking system, they might actually, load up a different tab on the browser, Google your business name, reach out directly. So we try and track everything and we try and achieve those minimum numbers and try and record the calls. But then there's always going to be people who call your number directly and don't go for the tracking number too. You might
No,
find
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, and we see that across any type of online marketing that we do. We have crossover from one campaign to the other. So that absolutely is something that you really can't track, but we know that happens.
How does the lead quality differ to what you expected? When you listen to those phone calls and when you see the outcomes and the people getting scheduled, is it different to what you had in mind before you became a client of ours?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure what to expect. I mean, I thought, you know, like you said, too good to be true. But when I when I listen to the phone calls, the people are eager to come in because they feel that sense of there's a little sense of urgency because of what is said in the copy of some of the advertising, that this is a limited time, and you know there's a select number of these offers available. So what we've seen is people want to schedule, and the sale isn't that hard. So we were afraid that we would get bogged down with pricing questions, but that hasn't really been that big of a challenge to overcome.
Excellent. And in terms of us running the campaign for you, how easy have we made it for you? Has there been hoops that you've had to jump through, or have you had to do any work, or has it all been pretty much turnkey?
No, turnkey. I just sit back and watch the leads come in. So I'm I'm probably going to take credit for this and be the hero and at our company for being able to produce cool sculpting revenue.
I,
But all thanks to you guys for an amazing program.
we're happy with that. We'll do the hard work and take the risk, and just don't even mention to the other guys that we exist. Just say you're doing the ads yourself. The leads are coming in.
Thought about that too.
Right, yeah. We'll just go invisible, no problem. We'll pretend we're not here. So what have your co-workers and people in your company, what have they said? Have they been surprised by the outcome so far?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It has been positive response, and even positive enough that they've allowed me to increase our budget by 50% for next month. So if we weren't seeing the results that we're seeing, there's no way that they would allow me to go ahead and spend more money. But they see it already. 6 appointments on a Saturday in our 3rd week is pretty impressive.
That's incredible. And considering we started from scratch, normally when you work with a marketing company, it can take a month or 2 months just to ramp up and understand about your business and create the campaign. Whereas one thing that we do that's very different is when we take on a new client, we already have the campaign ready to go. We've proven the campaign, we know it works. So like you mentioned, in just 2 days, we can push a few buttons, turn it on, the leads start coming in, and it's proven and it's consistent and it's win-win for everyone.
Yeah, the other thing I like about what you guys provide is that dashboard report, to be able to just click into a link and within our email and view a report that gives it's a dashboard that shows everything that's happened since the inception of the campaign, and then you can go in and drill down and get more detail if you want. So that's a nice thing to show in a meeting. I have an executive meeting every Monday, so if I keep this thing in my back pocket, so if the heat ever gets on me, this is when I pull it out.
Right. Hey, listen, you can be showing up late for work now, insulting your co-workers. You're fine.
Exactly.
Right. You just show them the dashboard and say, look, we're all good.
Right.
How does this compare to when you were trying to do it yourself? You mentioned trying to run those ads yourself. What kind of challenges did you have when you were actually trying to run the ads internally? What was that like?
A lot of it had to do with ads being unapproved or disapproved by Facebook. I'm not sure what it's called exactly, but we had trouble getting ads approved to go out on Facebook. That was our number one challenge. For one, I think the name of our company is a challenge,
Right.
Integrative Wellness. Facebook automatically, gave us a strike for having wellness in the name of our company.
Right.
But I found that they're becoming more strict with any type of healthcare advertising through social media. So you can really it's hard to make an offer. It's more about all they're allowing is branding.
Yeah.
It's what I'm seeing. So that the hardest part was getting the ads approved, and then being able and the time it takes to build ads and monitor all of that, and then going and doing remarketing, and it's just really super time consuming, and it wasn't allowing us to focus on other areas of our business.
I agree with all that completely. We actually spent about $200,000 on ads for Cool Sculpting before we had a campaign that works as well as it does now. So we had clients and we were producing good results, but it actually cost nearly $250,000 in just constant testing and trial and error and figuring out, does this work, and should we advertise to this group of people, and what time of day should we run the ads, and all these different variables we tested over $250,000 spend to really perfect the perfect ad, the perfect time of day, the perfect demographic targeting. And then the clients that come on board now get to benefit from that spend, because you would never be able to spend that much money all that time in your business, whereas we've already figured that out ourselves. And then that's why we can get leads within 2 days for such a good cost without them being disapproved and in a way that makes Facebook happy, because we've kind of done all that testing prior to taking on a client like yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that really, if you think about it, you did all the research for us on the front end, and now we're just paying you on a per lead basis. So yeah, and the geo targeting and and the demographics of the lead, those were other challenges for us. Who is who is our client with no historical data to look at. Can't really build a profile of your cool sculpting clientele without going out to somebody like you who already has it.
So by the end of the first month, I know we've got a few more days to go. How many sales do you think you will have made after the appointments that you've got penned in and after all the people in the pipeline come through? What kind of expectation would you have based on the data you have so far?
I would say we'll probably have at least 10 procedures performed from April.
Okay.
And then going into May, most of these people are booking into May, and I didn't get the numbers for May yet. But that I spoke to the person who works in the front desk who does the scheduling, and she said, yeah, most of these people are going into May.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So for the 10 in April, how much will that be worth to your business in terms of revenue?
Just under 30,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah,
30,000 in April and then more in May.
Yeah, our average cool sculpting revenue per person per patient is 2,700. So
Wow. Okay, that's awesome. So we've started in the first month. We're up to 65 leads thereabout. You've got all those people scheduled. You've got people booked in, converted already, and we're looking at $30,000 in revenue for the first month from a standing start, and then hopefully more revenue next month as well.
yeah, we definitely want to keep it going.
Yeah, and because of the way we run these campaigns, we can normally make it even better into the second month and the third month and the fourth month too. So we've never had a client go down in terms of their sales. Normally the sales go up as we learn more about your business. So we can do 30,000 in April. I'm pretty sure we can do 35 or 40,000 in May, which will be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And also there's, with all of these clients, we get, or even the leads, we get their contact information. So we can email market to them for other services because we do more than just cool sculpting. So when they come in, we can offer them everything from DNA testing to medical weight loss if they want to try that, or IV therapy. And we've got a list of other services. So not only do we capture the revenue generated through the cool sculpting treatments, but we have all these other ancillary services we can upsell or sell at a later date.
Exactly. And some of the people that don't buy in the first month, as you've just described, they go on your email newsletter, you send out special offers, you cross-sell them, you nurture them all the time. And you probably find you have sales in month 10, month 11, month 12 from some of the leads you got in month 1 that just weren't ready to move forward right now. That's going to be huge for your business as well, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
What would you say to anybody who's thinking about joining their program, getting leads in this way, but they've got reservations, they're worried it sounds too good to be true? What kind of advice and feedback would you give those guys?
I would say I was the same way, but I thought about it, and I'm from the school of thought. You've tried it before and it didn't work, but you probably should try something like that again. I've done lead gen programs before in the past, and some work, some don't. But when you're I just think that if you're on the fence about deciding whether to go with this program or not, there's proof from my end that this definitely works. I would 100% say that any business that wants to add significant revenue to their school sculpting program, that this is definitely a win if they want to add revenue.
Perfect. Well, Patrick, thank you so much for taking the time to share the story, the success we've had so far. 3 weeks into the program, and we'll look forward to jumping on the phone with you in another month, and we'll tell the story about how you added $40,000 in sales then. That's going to be my mission now. We're going to put that on our whiteboard as the target to make you even more money. But,
yeah, and I hope that I actually wanted to double the budget in May, but my boss said let's go half, and you guys were flexible with us on that end too, and I appreciate that. So I do hope to if things continue as they appear to right now, we'll be adding more budget.
Yeah, and we'll be thrilled to do it. You guys have been awesome to work with. Thank you so much for being a great client, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
You bet, Lee. Have a good weekend. Thank you.